Yeah, hi all. Welcome to another session of Profit with Ankit Jain. So it's me, Ankit Jain. So I'm a technical architect at an MNC. I'm 18X certified. I'm active in Salesforce events. This is my LinkedIn URL. So to be updated upon around the future sessions, you can either connect with me on LinkedIn or you can join the WhatsApp group. And if you want to have one-to-one session with me, you can book the session on TopMate. So today we'll be covering another session now around the trigger. So let's get started. Yeah, so today we have a scenario around like if there's an opportunity and the owner is changed, like whoever is the previous owner, that person should still have access to a record. So here few considerations we are taking into account if OWD is private and there's no other way like the opportunity is shared apart from manual sharing. Manual sharing is actually not actually exactly manual sharing, but I would call it Apex based or Apex managed sharing. We'll be using this concept in this one. So for those who don't know around that, so if the OWD of an object is either public read only or private, then we get object share records. Like for here, like it's opportunity, so it's opportunity share. So here the record ID, we have user or group ID. We have another field that is called as row cause. Row cause is sometimes referred to as sharing reason as well. Then another field that we have is on the access level. Okay. We hope the base work is clear, like color clear on this one.
Yes.
So to avoid the complications, what we'll be doing is like we'll be creating a custom robots. So how does the robots run look like? So I will just show you in one of my orgs. Like on the object itself, you get an option. The point here is like you should know like when you should be creating custom robots and when you should be using the native one that is the manual robots.
With Epic sharing, we can give access manually only, right? We
Yeah,
cannot.
basically through the code we will be doing it. Ideally, like when you click on manual sharing button internally as well, the object share records are only created, but that's through the UI and this is through your code. That's the only difference. Yeah, you can have like various if and else, like where you want to share it to whom it you want to share. But in declarative, you have to select it through the lookup only.
Okay. Yes.
So I think like that is evident that uh, Roper's icon would be visible only in the classic, I guess. So I'm switching to classic and now we'll be any object say so opportunity being a standard object like ropers will can't create a custom ropers, so we'll have to use the manual ropers only. So let's get started with the trigger. So I know like whenever a record is changed, so it would be like the owner field we will be getting only after the record is being means we would need the ID. Like we'll have to create the purchase share record, so we'll have to have the after. So what I will doing is first iterate the trigger. Trigger is an opportunity, so opportunity trigger.
Ankit, I just want to ask one thing. Like you have said that if we are doing manual sharing by the standard button, that button, manual button, in that case also it will create the record of opportunity share object record.
Correct, 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 correct,
Okay. And if you are doing Apex code chaining, in that case also you will create the record of opportunity share object.
correct.
Okay.
But the difference is like on the manual you can select the different people public groups. But if there's any dynamically like whoever whichever record is selected, like suppose you have a scenario like an opportunity you have a user lookup, and whichever person is selected in that user lookup you want to give them the access. So you won't be able to do that through manual button at runtime. So for that you will have to go with Apex share or opportunity through the Apex managed sharing.
Okay.
So the trigger syntax is like trigger name on object and in the bracket your callbacks. We'll be using after insert and after update. Now we'll be using switch statement. Switch because like we should mix two advanced things to highlight. Like one is like instead of if else, which is a better option over which is a better option over your regular if else. So I think that
Uh,
will be much better.
I have one question here. Why are we using after insert? Because this is the scenario is opportunity owner is changed. When it means like whenever it is updated, right? Then only it should like after insert only when there is update, then only it should run, right?
Yeah, correct, correct. Okay. We don't need to even because we will be anyways checking that. Yes, we can have it after insert should be fine.
Okay, okay. No, I thought I was making mistake.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
okay.
right. Yeah, I was actually by default also I was just doing that. It's not. Yeah, so it's after insert after update. Yes. Well, yeah, this would be like my handler. So we'll be using this very basic trigger framework. So we'll be creating just an interface side trigger. So here I'm passing in trigger out the list of sorry map of ID from a subject. Since it's in the after update, so I will get all the variables. Like it could be new map and this could be like my old map as well. If I needed the list, I can get it anyways very easily. Now what I will do is like okay, here my logic would be therein. So I would now switch from this to our actual business logic. Then later we'll figure out what needs to be done.
What could be the benefit of using interface in this trigger for the security purpose?
No,
Or
actually, it would set a standard like whenever you have the trigger handler, you'll have to implement that.
okay, okay,
Some people use abstract classes, some people use interfaces,
okay. We can use
and
abstract.
under that interface is like we're using just the after update and all of that. People have like different like you need to override like since free trigger frameworks use like set max count or other advanced features. So just for taking the panel understand like I know about the trigger frameworks where just showing it like interface would be there and which the others would be implemented.
Oh,
So like the exact like it would avoid ambiguity as well. Like some people use like handle after update, some use after update. So to make a consistency as well, the interface would be very much helpful for us.
okay, yes.
So now what we'll be doing is what I need is the previous owner and the new owner I will already have. So what I should be doing is I think I should be iterating over old map. Record ID would need. So it will be ID. User or group ID. Here it's a catch. Like we'll have to go to previous owner. So we already have the old map. So we will have that one. So what we'll be doing is we'll going to that old record using the get OPP ID. Then again going to owner ID. Just break it. The next is your ropers. You will have to write it manual. And then access level. There's also possibility that what we can do is like we can query on the opportunity share first and check if the record is there, then only insert. That is
Ankit,
another possibility we can make. Like suppose through other mechanism somehow that access is being provided or the person has access. So we can do a query on the opportunity share and then check and then only add and insert those records.
Ankit, I have one question here. Like, if you can use list old list instead of map, that is also fine, right?
Yeah, but the advantage we get here is like old map will means I can always get a list from a map. But I can't means for me to from list to create a map again, I will have to do an iteration.
Okay,
That's the
got
only
it.
reason like I used a map here.
Well, if you pass the list, in that case, we need
Like
to iterate the first list
yeah,
in case of
the,
set over there.
yeah. Yeah, agreed to that. Whatever you're saying makes sense to me. Like at the time, like we might not means if we'll have to use whatever structure we need, we can always get map from the map. We can get multiple things. So, like he said, if I want to just get a set of IDs, I can get that. If I want to just have a list of records, I can get that. But if I make it a fixed one, so list or set, then I will have to do manipulation and iterate more. So that's why I thought like let's use a map.
Okay. But yeah, if we write like if I use list and write this code in interview, that is also
That
fine
is
with me.
also fine. That is also fine.
Okay.
So here I think like whatever we are doing in is making sense to me. Like we are going through the old map means near what are the latest ones that means the new records already have the data, so they would already have the share object opportunity share. Now whenever they in the old map they would have the old owner ID, so we'll be setting that one and inserting those records. Now here what we will do is like we'll just call this method. So this was a simple scenario, but it involved like multiple concepts. Like it involved your trigger concept as well as like your concepts around like the effects managed sharing. So
Yes.
so
uh,
two things.
yes, yes. This trigger should run only when the owner is changed, right?
Correct, correct. We have to add that condition, like whenever that owner is only changed. So for that as well, map would be helpful for us. We can add a condition here. If new map dot get OPP ID dot owner ID not equal to old map, then only we'll insert this. Or we can have this, we can iterate this again at the top and do that as well. We'll look about. I think that should be fine now. Now the code would only execute if the owner is changed from a new one and old one.
Yes, yes. Now it will work. And also one thing, I think we should be passing the trigger dot new map and old map, right?
Yeah, here at the top, yeah. So although it is like when we actually try to solve it, it is actually logic is wise, it's quite simple. But if you don't know the concept around like this programmatic sharing, then you won't be able to solve this. And you, if you don't know the fields,
Yes,
then
yes.
also you won't be able to crack it out. So again, the before delete, we don't get old map. No, I think we should be there. Yes. roadmap is there, and so oh sorry, I forgot to resume the recording. Yeah. Yes, instead of parent ID, parent, you can get parent ID only. I think I'm listening up for